Hello everybody, this is EonShiKeno.
And I'm Time Lord.
We're going to cast a game for you from MLG Columbus. This is a one game from a best of 3 between sixjaxDDE. He is our blue Terran player down here in the bottom left part of TvZ Altar. And who's his opponent?
mouzMorroW, who's in the top left of TvZ Altar, and he's spawning his Zerg.
So you're going to have a ZVT on TvZ Altar. More than likely, we'll probably see the Zerg player go for a fast expansion. Very common build on this map.
Yep, and Morrow's definitely a popular player. And DDE's, he's an up-and-comer. He's every tournament, he has little tournaments that he enters, and he's been winning all these little tournaments, and it's really showing him how good he is at this game. So I'm expecting a pretty good game from these two.
Yeah, Morrow from the European scene, mostly playing on the European servers, and DDE from the North American scene. So we got some good luck, have funs from both players, both well-mannered players, and we have DDE with a barracks going for a wall off there at the front of his base, in between his main and his expansion. And we have an early scout for Morrow going to go out there and probably going to go and scout for maybe a possible double barracks opening. That's one thing you definitely have to watch out for if you plan on going for the hatch first build, which it looks like Morrow is going to go for.
Yeah, he's going to go for it before he sees anything, but he is going to have those drones out, even though he's scouting in the wrong position. But he is going to try to find out if he is going to go those double barracks, like you said.
And the scout for DDE is also heading out, and he's going to go scout to the bottom right. So both players, unfortunately, going the wrong direction. And we're definitely, I think we're going to have a fast expand here from DDE as well. He hasn't started a gas yet, which means he's saving up his minerals, probably going to throw down an expansion. It's a little late to go for a second barracks right now. So more than likely we're going to see an expansion play from DDE coming up here pretty soon. So this will turn into a macro game going on to the mid game.
Yeah, and Morrow's just doing his spawning pool without any gas yet, so he's just going to drone pump a lot, it looks like.
And we've got Morrow finally scouting out his opponent, and he's going to run right by here and see the expansion, so he knows he's going to be pretty safe for the time being. And wow, Morrow's Overlord almost getting picked off there, getting a little too close for comfort.
DDE is finally putting down his gas, and so is Morrow, so it's about the right timing for doing quick expansions.
Yep,
Nothing weird.
Yeah, both players seem to have their builds down perfect, as you would expect from players of this caliber. Now, if DDE did scout that base, so he saw a late gas, so that may clue him in to go for an attack, because whenever the Zerg player doesn't have gas, they won't have speedlings out, and it'll give you a little bit of a window to go in there and do some harassing, maybe pick off a Zergling or two, and just pressure your opponent to force them to make some Zerglings instead of drones. And it looks like he's going to go pressure with 3 Marines. And what does Morrow have to defend with? He's got drones, he's got a queen, and that's about it. He may actually lose that Overlord. That would be pretty bad this early on in the game. And so Micro going to go down here, Marines microing that one back. Even SCV getting in the fight. Those guys do a decent amount of damage, and he may actually kill this Overlord right here. Pulling some drones, Morrow's going to try and save that Overlord, and he looks like he's going to save. He needs to fly that Overlord in the other direction. Queen might fall. Some good micro here between both players, and picks off 2 drones. This push is definitely worth it so far. That queen is really low. He needs to bring that other queen down here from the front. Finally, Zerglings come out. Looks like he's going to fight this off. More than enough Zerglings. And that queen getting pretty low there, but it looks like he's going to micro it out of there. And that little rush there from DDE was fought off there by Morrow, but I think it was definitely worth it.
Yeah, DDE showed the power of 4 Marines in SCV, or 3 Marines in SCV. Taking out an Overlord and like 3 or 4 drones, that's perfect. That's exactly what you need to do. Oh,
did he actually manage to get that Overlord?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, wow, nice. And that queen got pretty low also. If it wouldn't have been for Morrow's, impeccable micro, he could have easily lost that queen also.
Oh yeah, and then that would have been, DDE would have been so far ahead with that queen kill. But he didn't get it.
So we have 12 drones coming out for Morrow, so that's going to give him a pretty big lead here in the harvest account. You can see he's already ahead 35 to 26. So once those drones come out, he's going to get up there. He's up to 39 now. And let's see what we got here coming from DDE. You got some barracks coming up, and actually an Overlord coming here. Morrow's going to come in here, do a little poke with the Overlord, see what he can see. He's going to see a couple barracks and quickly turn around, actually not getting scouted out there by DDE. So that Overlord is going to be able to get on back over there to that safe position.
Yeah, and DDE is going up to 6 barracks before he makes any factory, and he's still on 1 gas. So
and he's actually supply blocked right now for a pretty decent amount of time. Finally going to get that supply depot finished there over on the right, but a little bit of a hiccup there in his production. And actually supply blocked again, this Marine trying to be built, so a little bit of a mistake there from DDE. Looks like he threw up a bunker there. Maybe he was anticipating a Baneling bust, but, you know, playing it on the safe side.
Yeah, he is, like I said, he's still only on 1 gas, and he's researching the stim pack, so it looks like he's going to do a stim timing push with 6 barracks, looks like.
Yeah, and luckily for mouzMorroW, he's actually getting Baneling and Centrifugal Hook upgrade, and already throwing down 2 Spine Crawlers, so, and he's going right now. The stim is going to be finished right about the time he gets to that base, so this attack could actually do quite a bit of damage. He's actually head in supply right now, and Banelings are now being made for mouzMorroW. He just scouted that out with the Zergling there in the middle, holding that Xel'Naga Tower. Very critical to have that early warning system for Zerg so they can build the units in time, and there are so many creep troopers out here. mouzMorroW is going to lose a queen there, but she definitely paid for herself there with all those creep tumors. It's going to allow those Zerglings and Banelings to get up there to those units really quick. Centrifugal Hook's not done yet, and mouzMorrow's going to try and buy as much time as possible, and DDE just going to throw down a scan and kill some creep tumors. We'll see if he actually decides to go for this push or is he just going to fall back. And looks like DDE is going to play the safe route and maybe fall back, but mouzMorrow's going to go out on the attack, pick off a Zergling, and head back home. Or at least hang out here next to the Xel'Naga Tower. No, he's not going to turn around. Wait, he's being very indecisive. I don't know which way he's going to go here. Looks like mouzMorrow's going to try and do a run by with some Zerglings, but the wall is up, so that will be safe. Yep, he's not going to be able to get in there. Too much of a wall off there for DDE. And sixjax is kind of just roaming around here with these Marines and Marauders. Kind of baiting mouzMorroW to come out off the creep and engage him.
Yeah, and mouzMorrow is up to almost 30 Banelings now. It's pretty big, and he does have the Centrifugal Hooks upgrade, so if he catches DDE here, it could be dangerous.
Oh, it looks like he's going to catch him. No, not going to. I don't think he actually has enough Zerglings to get a good surround there. Ideally, mouzMorrow's will want to get those Zerglings in from behind and bring the Banelings in right in the front. Marauders up front going to take damage from those Banelings, but no, nice micro there from mouzMorroW, and spreading out the Banelings pretty well, and it looks like mouzMorrow is going to clean this up. And yeah, mouzMorrow cleaned that up pretty well. Still ahead in the supply, so that fight definitely went well for him. He's now starting to drone back up, getting 12 drones, and going to set up that third over here on the left. And Aspire is just about done too, and even throwing up a macro hatchery there in his main. And
yeah, you don't see those too often, macro hatcheries.
Yeah, I think it's a symbol of a high-level Zerg player. But looks like DDE was going out there poking again just to look at that Xel'Naga Tower, but there's no Zergling there, so mouzMorrow wasn't aware of that little fake push. We have the little Zergling down over here by the third of DDEs, and just scouting out that. And even Overlord being suicided here through the middle, missile turret being placed. Worried about mutas. This is about the time you should worry about mutas, especially if your opponent did open Zergling Baneling to that timing. So we'll probably see a lot of mutalists coming out, so a lot of upgrades now being researched for mouzMorrow, so he's going to plan on going in for the late game.
Yeah, and DDE has that timing down, as you can see. He's putting down all those turrets at his expansion, his main, and so he has that timing pretty well known.
And even getting some upgrades of his own. He has 2 more factories back in the middle, but looks like mouzMorrow's going to come in for an attack, and the wall is down. Luckily, DDE raised it up just in time. That could have been devastating. Forcing a stim there, and now he's going to run back, but nice job there from mouzMorrow. You know, force the stim, run away, wait for the stim to... the effects of that to deactivate, and then coming from behind. Wow, is he going to get him? Is he going to force another stim? Yes, he forces another stim. He needs to get those Zerglings around behind him. No, he's just going to run away. So every one of those stims is a lot of health that he's dealing damage to DDE. And stim is now worn off. He's coming back in here. Now he's just going to run away again. I love this.
And he doesn't have any medevacs yet. His report is just almost over halfway done. You're going to have a lot of medevacs to heal up all those stims that he did.
Yeah, that was a really nice play there from mouzMorrow with just a few number of units. He forced DDE to do full stims. DDE really shouldn't have stimmed that soon. But, you know, when you're worried about Banelings and Zerglings, you kind of just have to play it safe. But Wow, there's so many Mutalisks out now from mouzMorroW. The harass is going to start coming, and those Mutalisks are just going to be a pain in the neck for DDE's base. We can check his base here. He's got 1 missile turret at his main. He's got 2 protecting most of his production buildings on the left there, and 2 at his natural. So the place I think is the weakest is definitely his main. He can definitely come in there with the amount of Mutalisks he has and just destroy that 1 missile turret and just wreak havoc in his base.
Yeah, it looks like DD's pushing forward a little bit, trying to get mouzMorroW to engage. And
no, there we go. We actually almost had an engagement there. Mutalisk picking off a tank, and Scan's going to go down. DDE just going to pick off a couple more creep tumors, and then fall back.
And DDE did stim his entire army again. So all his units are like almost red. They can't even stim again almost.
That one medevac just came out, and she's like, really? She's got a big day of work ahead of her. Look at all those red HP units. It's going to be a while before she can heal all those guys up, but I definitely think, look at the supply. This is kind of odd, though. Sixjax does have a far superior supply count, 177 versus 145 now, but I think mouzMorroW is in the lead, though. Would you agree?
I would agree because of the amount of red units you see. They're not even close to being, at their full potential. So, yeah, I still think mouzMorroW is a little bit ahead here.
He does have his 3rd up, and the Mutalisks are going to go in for some harass. Let's see what they're going to do. Some more buildings being placed here. What is he making? More barracks being produced, and the Mutalisks are going to come in here to do some harass. He's grouping them up there, and probably going to come in here and try and snipe some buildings, but nope, he's going to fall back. Looks like down here in the bottom left, that Zergling did spot this expansion, and it looks like DDE is going to go down there, send his whole army to kill that 1 Zergling. Actually, nope, just going to send 2 Marines. And we're going to have a big fight here in the middle. Those tanks may be out of position. Oh no, Zergling's getting up front, and Bailey's coming in. Oh my gosh, Banelings. He doesn't want to use those Banelings on the tank, so nice job there. Banelings getting so much damage, and it looks like mouzMorroW is just going to wash over DDE and clean up that whole army. That fight really couldn't have went any worse for DDE. He had his tanks up front, which was nice, but they weren't sieged. And really, you want to have those tanks sieged and focus fire the Banelings, kill the Banelings off, and then you can micro against the Zerglings, but that did not happen, and mouzMorroW is going to deny this 3rd. And going on to the late game here, DDE is going to fall behind in economy and macro.
Yeah, the overstimming of DDE of what mouzMorroW made, DDE overstim, and as you can see, that really paid off in that fight because, only 1 Baneling could hit like a Marauder and also kill the Marauders and like the Marines around it. It was just like the Banelings are so much more effective with having all those low HPs. So it was really good.
Yeah, and they even have +1 attack upgrade, +1 armor upgrade for the Zerglings, and mouzMorrow, or DDE, sorry, coming out here with a little attack, and that's just going to get cleaned up very quickly. DDE trying to play a little risky there, clean up some creep tumors, but, at this stage in the game, he really can't stand to lose like a medevac full of Marines, considering he's so far behind in supply now. 120 supply versus 189. mouzMorrow is just sitting pretty. Now, he's kind of just sitting here. You may be wondering, why isn't mouzMorrow attacking? Well, mouzMorrow doesn't necessarily have to attack. mouzMorrow can just sit here, contain his opponent to 2 bases, build up his army, and just every fight, just win fight, and then eventually mouzMorrow will just have, he will basically force DDE to run out of money, and that's probably how I think this game is going to turn out, but you never know. We may have some amazing drop here from DDE. That can definitely turn the game around. Is a medevac drop on some bases, kill some drones off. But there are just so many Mutalisks. That's a flock of Mutalisks.
Yeah, 26 mutas, and there's no Thors to deter those mutas at all. So it's pretty dangerous when you see that many mutas. It's crazy.
Especially with the +1 attack upgrade. That is just so much damage. Look at this. He's just picking off supply. Killing supply depots isn't going to do too much against DDE because he is so far behind in supply anyway. He's got 200 supply total, but he can lose like 7 more supply depots and it's not even going to matter to him. More Marines coming up. That's going to be too many for mouzMorrow to deal with, and he's going to fall back. Those Muta kind of got a little weak there. But look at the mini-map here. It's just red all over the place. Overlords just covering everything. He's got almost every single base covered. Building, what is this, his 5th base? Yes, 5th base being built over here on the right side. He has his 4th pretty much saturated. He even has his gas saturated over there. So mouzMorrow looking really good, and DDE kind of falling behind right now. He did get his third up, so it's just going to depend whether or not can DDE hold this third, or is mouzMorroW going to counterattack and take it out. So it looks like DDE's going to go for an attack here. He's going to get the siege up in time. Yeah, he's going to get the siege up. There's so many muta, and banelings are going to take out the tanks. They don't even care. mouzMorroW has so many units, and there's the GG from DDE, and mouzMorroW takes that game pretty convincingly.
Yeah, once mouzMorroW kept baiting DDE to stim, that's when mouzMorroW just took the game under his freaking belt, because he just ended up taking the whole entire map and just kept poking at him, and DDE couldn't really do much about it.
Yeah, I think the attack, DDE's first timing attack was stim, where he kind of poked and never really committed to it. I think that was like the pinnacle of his chances of winning, because mouzMorroW did not have centrifugal hooks up for his banelings. He didn't have that many zerglings out, and I think that was maybe his only chance to really take mouzMorroW down, because after that he kind of just fell behind after forcing so many stims. He didn't really have the plan built in for medevacs into his game until later, so I think he really should have went in with that attack, committed to it, and just tried to out micro the banelings before the speed upgrade did finish for the banelings.
I agree, and then mouzMorroW just took over the whole entire map, made sure DD not expanded, and it just showed of how powerful Zerg and mouzMorroW can be on this map. It's pretty great.
Yeah, I've seen mouzMorroW do this to even better players than DDE. He's definitely a really good Zerg player, and he showed it here today. So I hope everybody enjoyed this ZVT here on Tal'Darim Altar. That's it for me. See everybody later.